All right, this is a new SmallRig VB212 battery. This is a collaboration between SmallRig and Caleb Pike from DSLR Video Shooter, and he has actually got a really good video on his channel going over the tech specs, power in and out, and he actually powers a bunch of stuff with the battery, which is pretty cool. So definitely check out that video if you want to get a lot of that information. What I want to do in this video is talk about more of my use case, who I would not recommend this to, and just a couple of like nitpicky things I have about this battery that I'm just not a huge fan of. But first of all, let's talk about some of the good. First of all, it comes with a USB-C cable in the box, which is cool, and you're able to actually charge the battery via USB-C when you plug it into a USB-C charger through one of these USB-C ends, which is really great. You also have two DTAP ports, which is really nice to be able to power like maybe a monitor and a camera at the same time, and not necessarily need the need for like a power distribution plate or something like that. Right above this DTAP port here, there's this little button, and it turns on the screen back here. And here you have some data. Right now, all it has is the battery percentage on here. But if you were to plug in something to it, like this is power in, this will change and this little screen will pop up, and it gives you a lot more data and information to see what the power in is and what the power out, and estimated runtime, whether it's to charge up or how much battery life you have left on the battery, which is a really cool touch. Another nice little touch that I like is this little port cover here has this little tab on the top, and it fits right in here into this little slot, and that just helps it kind of keep the port cover flap thingy back and not just flopping all around. So that's actually a nice little touch. I personally have been using this for powering a production monitor. That's going to be like the main use case for me for this battery. When I just mounted it to the V-mount plate, it's on the OC Mega 22S production monitor, and I think it was at like half brightness, you know, for like studio range. It told me it had like 7 hours of runtime or something crazy like that. So this is going to be pretty much used for like the production monitor most of the time. And what's great is, since there's two DTAP ports here, I can actually power two wireless receivers at once, and then kind of have an all-in-one contained unit to be able to have a fully wireless production monitor, which is really cool. And like, I used it recently on a shoot, didn't have this battery at the time, but I had it on a roller stand and was able to just kind of roll the monitor around for the client, and it's just super cool. I could also see myself using this to power lights, something like the Amarin F22C or, you know, 300D or something like that. But even for cameras, I mean, I won't use this for my Komodo X, just because I've got plenty of batteries for my Komodo X package. But for like the Blackmagic, the cinema camera 6K that I'm filming on right now, this is actually, I was powering it before this video, but I had to show it on the screen. I've got this little V-mount clip that kind of clamps onto like a tripod handle or tripod leg or something. It's also made by SmallRig, as a matter of fact. And since it has the DTAP outs, you can power the monitor and power the camera in one, and you could, I mean, get multiple videos shot with just one charge on this battery. So yeah, a lot of great use cases that I have planned for this battery, and from how I've been using it so far, it's been working great. I've had no complaints about its performance with regards to power. I have a couple nitpicky things though about this battery. Number one is these barrel connections. I don't know why SmallRig keeps putting these barrel connections on. I've seen zero need or zero use cases to power anything from the barrel connections where I wouldn't use either DTAP or LEMO. Honestly, if it were up to me, like if SmallRig, if you're listening, I would honestly get rid of these barrel connections altogether, even the USB-A at this point. Get rid of those three connections, and then either put another DTAP up here, or even like a couple 2-pin LEMO outs or something. Those are much more professional connections than these barrel connections. The USB-C outs are nice because like even the Tilto Nano 2 can be powered with USB-C, and then, you know, being able to just like power your phone or something else with this is really nice. So the USB-C ports I think are still quite relevant and quite nice to have on the battery, but these barrel connections are definitely pretty limiting, and honestly they're just useless to me. And then the other thing is this V-lock clip here. Although it's nice that it's threaded, it's plastic, so I would not recommend actually mounting anything to this because it feels like it could break super easily. It doesn't feel like any kind of premium material, so just kind of keep an eye out for that. I definitely wouldn't recommend using that for mounting anything serious to it. And then the last thing is the screen. I do love that there's a screen, and I do love that you can get the battery percentage and see the runtime and everything. The only complaint is the screen is pretty small, and I know it's probably to help like not draw too much power from the battery. But when you have stuff plugged into it, you gotta have to like kind of squint and really like focus in and study the data here to see the information. Wish there were just different modes, and maybe there are, I just hadn't figured out how to get to different modes, but I wish there was just a mode that had battery percentage or just a big thing that said runtime on there, so you could just have less stuff to look at and have, you know, a better quick glance at the relevant information. And for most people, including myself, the relevant information would either be battery percentage or time remaining left on the battery. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I highly recommend this battery if you're looking for a high capacity battery. The only time I would not recommend this battery is to anyone out there that does a lot of air travel for their work, because this is just not going to be allowed on a commercial aircraft. Now, I don't know every airline's policy, I don't know every country's policy, but generally speaking, at least the research that I've done for the airlines that I have flown on for work, 98 watt-hour batteries are the max that you can bring on, with the exception of you can usually get away with 250 watt-hour batteries as long as one of them is connected to your camera. This is not legal advice, this isn't travel advice, this isn't anything. Go do the research on your own. But all of my research has found that this battery would most certainly not fly, no pun intended, on any commercial aircraft. It's just too high capacity. So just keep that in mind. Otherwise, if you don't do a lot of travel or you have a lot of local productions where you're driving to location, then I would recommend it, and it's been working great for me. So yeah, so if you want to pick it up, I will leave links down in the description below, but only buy it if it makes sense for your workflow and for how you work. Don't just buy one because it's a shiny new product. That wouldn't make any sense, and especially wouldn't make any financial sense. So I'll leave links if you feel so inclined to need one of these batteries. And if you have any technical questions, definitely leave them down in the comments, and I'll try my best to answer as best I can. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.